8:32, it is the Nielsen Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and live on YouTube. That nice wide shot as we the studio gets a little more full. It's always nice to have another guest in here as well. We will be doing the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week here, and we've got Rob Kowalchuk, Solution Brewing in Airdrie, giving us his time and traveling all this way. We'll be joined by him in a matter of minutes. Once again, as I said, $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor will be on the line a little later during the segment. Rob will let us know what the special is, the Beer of the Week special, courtesy his brewery at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, so you can get your weekend set. 1 degree for a high today in Edmonton, mix of sun and cloud. Pretty nice weekend on the way as well for fall temps, and -2 in the Edmonton region right now. It's Will Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev. Once again, your next chance at the EST Flight Away to LA Keyword. That's coming up in the Hangout. Jay Milne's getting coffees. Jay asked, he doesn't have your phone number if you wanted a coffee later. He always brings in coffees Friday.
Oh, no, I'm all coffeed up.
Timbits, nothing,
yeah,
you're good.
I appreciate it, though. Thanks,
yeah, so Jay, no coffees for Will. He'll be in the Hangout alongside Matt Iwanek and Tom Gazzola, 9 to 11, your next chance
hangout.
at the... it's Fridays... Again, I was telling Rob here, too, it's a nice way to end the week. You got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. The Glue Guy's going to be in the Hangout. It's a nice Friday. The vibes are high, and it's pulsating around EST HQ.
And the Oilers won. That always helps, too.
That, either you're drowning the sorrows away or you're celebrating it. Rob Kowalchuk, Solutions Brewing, would you like a candy corn? Will offered you off air, but I thought I'd offer the guest if you wanted one to eat or suck on. Or
you know what? Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's have a little taste. Do you like them? Are you a fan? Or are you? I didn't mean to pressure you if you don't, but
I'm a fan of all things sugar.
Yeah.
We also learned today that it's got pork gelatin and confectioner's shellac. The ingredients on here are wild. You may not eat another one ever again, but
Sometimes it's best not to know.
Thanks for joining me. Yeah, Team Candy Corn.
You can really taste the gelatin.
Yeah. The shellac sticks to your teeth somewhat. Yeah. But Rob, thank you for coming up and taking the time and coming in today. Solutions Brewing. We always kind of lead off. And it's a traditional question here. How did you get this thing started? It's usually a couple of guys, they're going to college or something, and, it's one party night, and they make a concoction or something like that. Or did it take a little more intuition and thought going into Solutions Brewing?
A little bit. I mean, for me, it was kind of started out whereas, I like beer a lot. I was living in Fort Mac for a little while, too. So, that's what you do. Yeah. Enjoy a few beers. And I don't know, I just got kind of curious about the whole process. Like, how is it made? What makes each beer different? What makes it special? And, just doing some research and reading, learning out all about, different, water profiles, hops, malts, and let's give it a try. And I wish I'd started sooner because it was so easy. You just go out there and go to, a homebrew shop and pick up a kit, a fermenter bucket, right? And you just put everything in there, in 2 weeks you got some beer. I'm like,
This is like what we do now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Everybody can do a podcast now. You buy the equipment, you buy the kit, and you go, you're doing a sports show or whatever. But how long have you been doing this? How long has this been kind of going on in the Solutions Brewing form?
In the Solutions Brewing form? So we started selling beer in 2020.
Okay.
Not the greatest time to start.
Yeah,
but
good time to start a business.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, we're like, if we didn't start it then, would we have ever started?
Sure. Yeah.
Because then you get all the doom and gloom. You're like, you know what?
Had a lot of time to sit around and drink during that time, if I remember correctly. In anyways, it kind of...
Yeah, so, it gave us a lot of time to work on recipes and ones that we wanted to actually, not just make for ourselves, but for everyone else. And that's kind of like what we brought with myself today.
That's fantastic. Airdrie seemed like an untapped market. Is that why you guys are out of Airdrie, or do they have special water? Some people always...
No, actually, funny enough, though, the water in Airdrie comes from Calgary.
Yeah.
So when the pipe broke, we were in restrictions there too.
That.
But part of it was just I actually live there.
Okay.
And then I've got two other partners, and they're in Calgary.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of
made the most sense
there, and there are a lot of breweries in Calgary, so we kind of wanted to spread out and be somewhere a little bit different where we could stand out maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Airdrie is a little bit unique because there's actually 4 breweries if you count ourselves.
Yeah.
There would have been more. One of them closed down. Was it last year? 2 years ago? Fitzsimmons shut down. But yeah, there's still 948 and Atlas and Balzac.
What is the beer of the week specifically this week? As we kind of let's dive into maybe the candy lineup here.
Yeah, you betcha. And actually, it's kind of interesting that you do have the candy corn. This one actually would be a good pair. So this one we call it
pairing with candy corn.
that's
A
right.
beer. Oh, this is something else.
Yeah, so we call this one the Dark Ritual. It's a watermelon goza, which is kind of a fancy way of saying sour. So it's a little bit lighter. It's a 4.8%.
Okay.
And it's got a sour, but it's got a nice little color to it. I'll just
right.
crack that open for you guys. And I brought you guys some nice glasses.
That's fantastic.
Love it.
So you get a chance to see the beer.
Now, what do you guys, the artwork on the cans, I'm always really fascinated. There's so many beers now. You want to stand out. You want to be unique. You want to kind of pop the eye when people go into a shop. But is this an in-house artist, or you kind of outsource this to some people to do the artwork?
So although we're okay with ideas for stuff, we're not very artistic ourselves.
Yeah.
So yes, no, we did need some help for with the artwork. Did you want one there too? Yeah, you bet. It's enough for everybody. Yeah, so basically we have an idea. So this one we call it Dark Ritual because the joke was, we're sacrificing real watermelons to make this beer. So the joke was, you have the pentagram of salt, and then you've got the watermelon in the middle, and you got the hooded figures, and then,
This stick man, where does that come from?
So that's our little mascot.
Okay. I was thinking of that website, stickdeath.com. Do you remember
Yes,
back
I
in the day?
remember that.
Okay,
That was
that's
an old one. Yeah, that
exactly
was
what it
one.
reminded me of there, yeah.
So yeah, we actually call him Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, that's so the joke was this one was so these cans, these labels that we've got are a lot nicer than our original ones. We used to do because we tried to do ourselves and our art sucks. So we were drawing little stick figures.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a throwback, just to like kind of remember like kind of how we started out.
An Easter egg.
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
I love it.
So we put that on all of our cans. Ours here we got Tim.
There he is.
On
Yeah.
top of there. And on this one, he's on top of this.
He's always getting into something, eh? That Tim, eh? Oh,
That Tim.
so this is the beer of the week, the watermelon goza?
This is the official the official beer of the week.
So what makes a gauza a gauza?
So it's salt and sour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, boys,
Cheers.
Cheers. To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could drink a lot of that.
That's very interesting. I like it.
And yes, does pair well with the candy corn.
Yeah, so
Washing
the
it out of the
kind
mouth.
of like washes
Yep.
it out a little bit, kind
Yep.
of cuts down the sweetness of the candy corn.
Cuts down the sweet. You get a little bit of that salt and the
The
watermelon
salt
hint.
is what cleans it out, right?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Very good. Love it. All right, well,
And champagne bubbles, right? Like really tight.
good head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one ever argues about bad head. Right?
Nope. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
And okay, well, what's down the line up here then after the
So-
watermelon? How do you pronounce it?
Goza.
Goza.
Yeah. So normally if we were sampling, I wouldn't give you the sour first because it's kind of a unique flavor compared to these other ones. So we also have a blonde ale and we have an IPA, which also complement the beer of the week. I don't know if you guys want it in these glasses.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, we're all good. Don't. No need to be.
We're not
picky here.
fancy.
No, this isn't. Tossing candy corn around the
All
studio.
right,
is
so
all good.
okay, let's go with the missing piece blonde ale. How about that?
Love it. Rob Kowalchuk once again joining us. Solutions Brewing out in Airdrie. For more information, solutionsbrewing.com. Nice little tight website. I do see at the top of the page you have a podcast tab. You guys
do,
are also
yeah.
in the podcast. It's funny I mentioned that.
Yeah,
but you
no,
guys
yeah,
do
we were
a-
just joking about how
Love it.
everyone's got a podcast,
Yeah, yeah,
including
yeah.
us. Yeah.
So what is it? Is it yourself and just members of the staff, or how does that kind of go? And why'd you kind of want to venture into that realm? We don't get a lot of brewers on the show every Friday, but not many of them have a podcast attached to their brewery.
Yeah, it was one of those things where because we've been bootstrapping to start it out, where we're like, oh, you know what? What's a more interesting way to get out there and try to get
Yeah.
some listeners or whatever, and that was one of the ways we did, and it was partly successful, but we don't have a huge following of people, to be honest. But you know what? It was something that we could easily do, meet up together. We could do it online if we weren't able to meet up.
So no real uniform to it. You just kind of do it whenever, wherever type of thing, whomever. And
We started out
not a lot of
regularly.
structure.
We were doing it weekly, and then lately we've kind of gone more monthly.
Okay.
But Yeah, this is kind of something we were doing for fun, and you know,
For more on the beer and the brewery as well, you guys are on Instagram and Facebook in terms of social media platforms as well. No food at your, is it you can go in there, sample beer and everything like that? I mean, some places have a food option, restaurant type of thing, but do you have a, what is it? You go in just a bar type of ideal, or what is the, yeah?
right. So we're a little bit different. We don't have a tap room yet.
Okay.
So that's kind of something we're looking for.
Okay.
We do have a tiny little production space where we make 50 liters ourselves, so it's very tiny.
Yeah.
These large batches, we actually will contract some of these
Okay.
out so that we can make larger batches. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to.
That is in the works, though, as you mentioned. Do you have any other, like, did you want to get into the food thing? Like, is that kind of dreams and goals later down the line for
I
you guys?
think it's important. I mean, beer and food go really well together.
Yeah.
I mean, and beer goes well with a lot of things, especially snackish type foods that
You don't have to
everyone
go,
likes, you
yeah.
know, like
you don't need
got, like,
entrees and stuff. But
yeah, you like pizza, nachos,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff.
even, I know a lot of people have allergies, but just like peanuts and pretzels and things like that, you can really dress up.
yeah, hamburgers, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that stuff is awesome. Yeah.
That type of thing. All right, well, and this one again is the
Blonde.
This is the Missing Piece Blonde Ale.
Missing Police Blonde Ale. Okay,
Yeah.
so anything, just a nice blonde ale, looks like a good color, hey?
Yeah, so this one will have a little bit of a caramel sweetness to it, which is what we call the Missing Piece.
Okay.
And that comes from the malt that we use. So it's nice. This is very light, smooth. This is like, you could call this like an everyday kind of drinker. This would be something you like, you sit down for dinner, have a beer, come home from work after, something just relax.
Yeah, like sometimes a lot of blondes can be a little hop forward. This feels malt forward.
Yeah.
Like just really pleasant, sort of
Well,
a relaxing sip.
to Leon Draisaitl, Der Nashville Meister. Eh?
Yes.
Yes. Cheers.
Yeah, you're right. That is a day of work.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, it's been a day.
Very welcoming.
I think I need a blonde.
Like a nice hug.
Yeah.
Very delicious there. All right, well, and then what's the final one here, Rob Kowalchuk? Solutions Brewing out of Airdrie.
So the final one is our IPA, which we call Friends Night Out. And this one we used a hops, which is called Zamba. So this one it's not as much hop forward. You will definitely notice some hops. But you're going to notice also like a little bit of a hint of tangerine, and that comes from the hop.
The citrus hops, or
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. This one's fine. Yeah, let's not get them mixed up. And yeah, this is another one. This one's a little bit higher percentage. This is a 6%.
Okay.
So this is like if you're going out with your friends, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, crush a couple of those and you'll be feeling. This is good. And once again, solutionsbrewing.com if you want more information on these beers, all up there at that website, but and Instagram, Facebook as well.
Oh yeah, no worries. Take as much as you like. I get this stuff all the time.
Trevor had a long night last night.
Exactly, yeah.
That's Friday.
Been a wicked Halloween, and yeah. So this is once again this is the Friends Night Out IPA.
That's correct. Yep.
6%. It says here, sometimes you need to vent about work, develop a new idea, or simply watch the game and celebrate your team winning. What better way to do this than with a Friends Night Out to catch up and solve all the world's
Or
problems?
forget that they lost.
It goes both ways. It's a it's a 5-tool beer here we're talking about, right?
No
Good
problems,
times
just
or bad.
solutions, right?
Yeah.
That's
Refreshing tangerine taste, aromas of stone and tropical fruit.
That's right.
As well in this one, so I love it. Well, cheers,
gentlemen.
boys, to the CFL playoffs.
CFL playoffs. Cheers.
That's delicious.
Very good. These are all very nice and unique and to their own. I mean, fitting the labels and fitting the different colors. Tim is the constant throughout, but very unique and different beers this morning. The threesome, very nice.
Yes, thank you.
And the dark ritual,
Ritual.
watermelon goza.
Goza, yeah.
Goza.
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 No, with a soft Z.
Goza.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is your Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week in a 4-pack.
Yes.
4-pack for the tall boys. And that's the cue right now. Text in Beer Me. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. We will throw all of the Beer Me texts into a hat and pick a lucky winner, and you will be awarded $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Rob, any parting words this morning? I know that, again, appreciate your time coming up here as well. You mentioned you're staying St. Albert Way or whatever. Edmonton, where is home? What's kind of...
home for me is Airdrie. I live in Airdrie.
Okay, yeah.
And like,
but originally, do you kind of come from here, or
I was born and raised in Calgary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were cheering to Draisaitl earlier. Are you? Yeah. You can confess now. I mean, who do you kind of?
Are you a Flames fan?
What's the support? Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, I'm a Sharks fan.
Hey!
which is really hard
Not
to
bad.
beat right now.
Wow, I love it.
I
Go
don't mind that.
Teal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Who would have thought Flames would have been a better choice?
Hey, well, I don't know. Can I ask how?
So growing up, like in school, the shark was my favorite animal.
Okay.
And then, San Jose was an expansion team.
And it was a cool look when it came
91.
about,
Yeah,
right?
they came out with a nice teal that had very
You had a
more
Pat
unique.
Falloon Sharks jersey, did
Yeah.
you?
Oh, and Nolan?
No, actually, I have Patrick Marleau.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
Mr.
yes.
Shark. Yep.
Yeah. Olin Nolan was great too. Arturs Urbe, I was kind of a fan of him as well.
The leaping Latvian.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was, because I was born in '83, so they came out in like '91.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm only
Perfect time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it was just kind of the shark was my favorite animal. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I loved hockey. So I just started cheering for them just because.
But you've maintained, I mean, some good years not getting over the line. Declan Celebrini now, you got to be excited now about the future moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Not the immediate, but
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith scored a couple goals last night, so that was kind of nice.
the Fresh Prince.
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, I love that. Sharks, I would have never...
No, not too many people.
Even if you weren't a Flames fan, I would have gone all around the league before probably settling in on San Jose.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's But text it once again. Beer Me 780-218-9999. Rob, really appreciate the time this morning, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Will, any parting questions for
Well,
Rob?
just I've noticed this just as a fan of craft beer. How long does it take you to drive across this province now? Because every year it gets slower and slower for me because there are more and more craft breweries that I need to stop in. Where it's kind of like, oh, it's Lacombe. Oh, it's now it's like Rimby or like there's always a new place to be stopping in and trying. Do you find it's like your drive time used to be, well, Airdrie to Edmonton, I can do that in 2.5 hours, and now it's a 5-hour trip for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The trick is I just make it a part of a motorcycle ride, so it's like it's like part of the day.
Yeah. It's like it is kind of, you should not drink and drive, but it is one of those perfect sort of road trips through Alberta. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, every place has its kind of signature brewery.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, especially if, like I mentioned, the motorcycle is. I like to look for more side roads or hidden roads.
Yeah, Highway 20, Highway 22.
Yeah, 1A. 1A is great.
1A is great. Yeah.
So you just kind of go and take a nice little cruise. The idea is go for a little cruise, find a little brewery with a
Find a pint.
nice little patio.
Yeah.
Just sit out, relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sun, scenery. Yeah.
Another thing on your website, too, and you can meet the solution makers, Brendan, Stephen, and yourself, Robert. I'm seeing you here. You mentioned a bike.
Yeah.
This is how you came up here, bike rider. I mean, what Harley? Is that what you're kind of doing here, or what's going on?
So, although I like the sound of Harleys, I don't like the price tag.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's a lot of money to spend for 1960s technology.
Yeah,
right.
So I actually I have a Yamaha Striker here.
Okay,
so it's a 1300 cc, so it's
Love
still
it.
a fair size bike.
That's a big bike.
A lot of people mistake that one for a Harley. It looks pretty similar.
I only
it's got
know the
that big
speed
look.
bikes and then the other ones with the big old handlebars.
The
Like
apes
yeah.
of it, yeah.
Do you correct people? You go, no, this one starts every time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The Harley
It's not a
singers.
Harley.
I don't have to turn.
Starts.
Yeah, I don't have to turn wrenches every day on it.
Brendan's a licensed pilot. Stephen likes Dungeons and Dragons. You apparently don't drink coffee, but you're an early riser.
That's correct. Yeah,
What kind of
actually.
a sicko are you?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
a
saying.
lot of people bug me on that one. I actually woke up today without an alarm clock. It's just I don't know. I've always been that way ever since growing up.
And no caffeine.
No caffeine. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. Yeah.
Man.
I like the smell. It smells great. but,
Okay, yeah.
It tastes terrible.
Very honest. I love it. Yeah,
I think you've just been drinking bad coffee. That's
get him a good one.
Trevor's shaking his coffee cups over there.
Robert, appreciate your time, man.